ॐ क्लीं कैवल्य Ukhimutt has a special place in the Panch Kedar pilgrimage. From this little town, one can plan one's pilgrimage to the 5 ancient Shiva temples. The one that was left on my list now was Sri Kedarnath, an ancient Shiva temple in the divine Himalayan valley that had been beckoning me since childhood. After the visit to the Sri Omkareshwar temple that morning on October 6th, 2019, I relaxed in my hotel, waiting for my nephews Karthik and Sai to join me. I'm here waiting eagerly for my dearest nephews. They're very dear to me, both of them. I've ragged them and I've played with them and roasted them alive, if you will, toasted them. And so, in spite of that, we get along very well, and I'm glad that they are also outdoor adventure freaks. So the 3 of us are going to Kedarnath. Idhar aaja, park karo. There, my nephews coming down in that car. Look at them, the real tiny car. Good. Look at this bearded guy.
आपका beard सब किधर गया?
My beard. Oh my God, ये क्या है ये?
बोले बाबा.
तू भी. This is Sai. This is Karthik. He changes every time I see him. The drive from Ukhimutt towards Sonprayag was picturesque and beautiful as we drove up the winding road, passing through Gupta Kashi, Devasal, Narayan Koti and other historic towns. It's 10 to 3, we left at 2 o'clock, Ukhimutt. We just passed Gupta Kashi and my nephews wanted a bite, so we have stopped here. I'm going to have a cup of coffee maybe. I just had 2 nice parathas at 10 in the morning, so I'm good for the rest of the day. Like I said, it's so nice to see the sun and feel the warmth after all these days of rain. I hope it stays like this, keeping my fingers crossed. This is where we are, Bharat Ki Rasoi, as in the restaurant of India. And they have restaurant high class vegetarian meals and snacks. So interesting. So these youngsters are loading themselves with carbs so they can trek all the way to Kedarnath and Vasukital. So this is the hotel we have finally come. We're going to crash here tonight. It's 5 o'clock, Shivalik Valley Resorts. This is us. This is where we are in this hotel, and this is how this looks like. It's pretty decent. It's got a nice sit out looking out into the valley. It's close to $40, $45 a night, which is 3,000 something a night. And 2 people could stay, but we're going to squeeze in 3 of us. So today is the 8th day of the moon. I don't know if you can see the moon here. It's just up there. Tomorrow is the 9th day of the Navratri, the holy 9 days. And I'm glad we're going to be trekking on the 9th day. And then 10th morning we will be in Kedarnath, ready to have the darshan. 10th morning in these 9 days of Navratri, or the 9 holy days, the 10th day is the day when the mind rises above good and evil. So that's considered a very holy day. So I'm glad we're going to be there in Kedarnath, and that will be our early morning darshan, as it is called. So here is the other river. I know they all look the same, but this is River Mandakini, the river that flooded in 2013 and kind of wiped out thousands and thousands of lives in a fiery, rainy kind of a overflow. Anyway, beautiful river, and this is again a very ancient river. It's found, the name Mandakini is found in the slokas written to Shiva in praise of Shiva for many thousands of years. Mandakini Salita Chandana Charchitaya. So the linga is bathed in the rivers, from the rivers of Mandakini. That's how it is praised in the scriptures, and this is that river. We're going to see more of this river and perhaps even go to the source when we go to Kedarnath tomorrow. Sitapur is so beautiful. How much more beautiful will Kedarnath be, and the rivers that surround that temple. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I hope you are excited too. The energy of this water is amazing. It's not just like any river. That's fantastic. So joyful. So joyful. Bam bam bole! October 7th, another beautiful morning at Sitapur. So this is the D-Day, the divine day, where we are going to set foot on what I consider the holiest of holy places, Kedarnath. The office of Shiva. His home is Kailash. This is his office where he sits and meditates. So I just can't wait. My nephews are ready as well. So we are all out to there you go. So we are all going to be driving to Sonprayag and then take it from there. All right. From our hotel in Sitapur, we drove down to Sonprayag, a distance of about 3 kilometers. All of us were excited with the prospect of spending 5 days in the divine Kedarnath valley. Panchakshari mantra is Nama Shivaya. It's five aksharas, so we're going to spend 5 days, one for each of those aksharas. We parked our car at a local car park and walked through the little town. We passed the Kedarnath registration office, where one registers before making this trek. This requirement has been put in place after the devastating floods in 2013. We had already registered online, so we were good to go. We then walked down to the place where we would take a government authorized vehicle to Gourikund. After 2013, no private vehicles are allowed beyond Sonprayag. People selling warm clothing. So in case you forget to get something, this is a good place to buy. It'll be a couple of ₹100 or something. But these raincoats I got was ₹250, couple of dollars. So this is how the path is going to be. So this is where we are right now, Sonprayag. We're going to drive down or walk down to Gourikund. Most probably drive because it doesn't seem to be crowded. And then we trek all the way, Jungle Chatti, Bhim Bali, Linchauli, Kedarnath Base Camp and Kedarnath. We hired a jeep to drive us down to Gourikund, from where we would begin our trek to Sri Kedarnath. Gourikund is at a distance of about 5 to 6 kilometers from Sonprayag. It was a short 15 to 20 minute drive on that narrow road. So you can see the roads themselves can't really sustain public traffic. And in busy seasons when you have thousands of people visiting, you don't want this place blocked with cars and jeeps. This is where they're going to drop us. We're going to find a porter to carry our backpacks, heavy backpacks, and then we're going to travel light. Alright, off we get off. So we got off and all these guys are behind us trying to, these stouts or whatever behind. Everybody wants business. So we are heading straight to the counter, the government counter, where we can book a porter for us. Gourikund. This quaint little town is the base camp for the pilgrimage to Sri Kedarnath. From here, pilgrims can choose either to trek up the 16 odd kilometers or ride a mule or pony. Situated at an altitude of about 6,500 feet, this place finds itself engraved in the ancient Puranic literature. It is believed that goddess Parvati did her final penance at this place to attain a beloved Shiva. There used to be a hot water spring here that is believed to have healing powers. Unfortunately, this spring got destroyed in the 2013 floods. However, there is still a small remnant of this spring. We got a porter, a strong young man, Harish Bahadur. He's loading all of this. He's going to carry it himself. Now, these guys are trained for this. They're amazing. So looks like he's all set. Look at that. In less than 5 minutes, he's set. He's put on his tag there. And he's going to load it on his back. Never ceases to amaze me what the human body can be trained to do. He's going to walk 16 kilometers uphill with that back. So this is how he sets himself up. That's it. He's all set to go. Amazing, isn't it? All right, let's follow him. Jai Bholenath. Jai Bholenath. And we are on our trek.
The start of this trek, unlike the ones I had done until now, began with noise. The first kilometer was a narrow street filled with restaurants, shops and hawkers. This was disheartening, something I did not expect. As I questioned this chaos, I realized that this initial part of the holy trek seemed to reflect an inner journey. In one's inner spiritual journey, the first few steps are often filled with doubt, inconsistency, and chaos.
Seems to be a lot of commotion. Hopefully all this will clear very soon. We're still in the base, Gourikund place. And you can imagine, this is off season. How would this have been if this was in season? So this narrow that you see behind you, this was filled with hundreds of pilgrims. And everybody trying to either have a coffee or buy something, then it would have been so crazy. But you see here now, it's kind of, because it's in October and season is coming to an end, you don't have too many people. And so this is perhaps a really good time to visit Kedarnath. Well, let's see. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. So now that you cross all that narrow valley thing, and then you come across this open space. Now you can breathe. And ahead you see the trek. You see the trek slowly going up, and that's where it all begins. Lord Shiva, here we come. Prayers in our heart to just be close to you and enjoy the proximity and the divine energy of Shiva. Just thinking of that brings tears to my eyes. Right now my heart chakra is pounding with excitement and joy. Look at all those ponies waiting to take people up for a ride. That's why the moment you get off the jeep back there, all these guys literally circle you. You want a pony, you want a porter. Anyway, we spoke to this guy. We are paying him 2,500 rupees for three of us for the 3 backpacks, heavy backpacks. That comes about 800 plus rupees for each of us. It's not bad. It's like $10 for somebody to carry your bag 16 kilometers. I don't think it's a bad idea. That way we are free to take our time and go trek up slowly. Look at the crowd. And this is off season, okay? So you can imagine if you come at the wrong time, well, I say wrong, I mean crowded time, how crazy it will be. So people are taking the ponies, they are afraid to get onto the ponies, all of that fun stuff going on. So just as we leave about half a kilometer up the hill, you find this board. We still have 15.5 kilometers to Kedarnath and 3.5 kilometers to the first pit stop. I mean, these are also pit stops, but it's called Jungle Chatti. There's one pony who's angry, I think. He's kicking and jumping around. Always something going on here. Look at that. Poor thing. I pity them. Hey! This is that pony who's refusing to move. So you see the path going up is pretty close to how it was in Tungnath. Well, kind of relatively well paved, and you have these railings on the side. To some extent it even reminds me of Madmaheshwar, but this is much better than all of them. You have these little drains for water to flow out. Just don't mind the horse poop, pony poop, the pee-pees. And I guess it should be like this throughout. There's no sudden steepness unless if it comes up. I will record that as well for information. You do get slightly breathless, but not bad. You can maintain a conversation and walk up these slopes, at least for now. There are some nice scenic spots. So they do give you a warning that there's possibility of landslides ahead. Nothing to be afraid of. There are authorities monitoring this every second. Look at that. You're going to pass through that waterfall. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Mandakini, mystical river. Heard about it so much from childhood. Read about it in the scriptures and now actually seeing it. It's believed to have great healing properties because of the minerals and other stuff that it picks up from the mountains above. The sound of the water sometimes is deafening, but in that sound, like I said earlier, I guess somewhere, in that sound lies silence, and that's amazing too. Sound and silence can coexist together as long as the sound is pure in the form of nature. That's why you have these sound baths where you listen to the sound of conches and bells and ocean drums and all of that, and the mind enters into a zone of silence. Look at this gentleman constantly cleaning the path. Very, very, very nice. Oh, this is that angry pony. Oops. He's like, don't mess with me. Now, I don't know what awaits us up there, like what kind of crowd, what kind of facilities and things like that. But so far, having trekked just barely 2 kilometers, you see the crowd has thinned out here. I certainly feel that this is the right time to come, September, beginning of October, because the crowd is so much more thinner. It's just that it makes this whole experience more enjoyable. I mean, I love people, so it's not like because there is crowd somehow it becomes less fun, but it's just the sound, the jostling. As you can see, the path itself cannot take too many people at once. So if you have people going up and down in the month of May and June, and it's going to be constantly bombarded with ponies, hundreds of them, I guess it'll make our trek a little more, the pilgrimage a little more challenging. But this is nice. There are these quiet zones where time to reflect, prepare yourself for the darshan at the temple. Please consider subscribing to our channel on YouTube, the KYG channel, so you stay tuned to fresh yoga and spiritual content from KYG. Thank you for watching. enrich your practice, empower your mind, enlighten your spirit. Namaste.
Kaivalya